And we're live.
You paused a really long time to say that. But we are live. Despite the global pandemic that's happening, we're alive. And we're here bringing you some entertainment.
Some content. We fell behind on the recording schedule a little bit.
Just a tad,
So we're not as far in the future as we used to be.
No. Which is probably for the best, but we're here. Anywho, welcome to Our Kids Made Us Watch This. I'm Jara.
And I'm Colin.
And today's episode, we're going to be talking about a TV show that is on Netflix that Amelia recently started watching called The Miraculous Ladybug and Cat Noir. So it feels like this show was initially aimed at a little bit of an older age group.
Not necessarily like a teenager, but like
preteens.
Yeah, maybe that age group.
Yeah, I when I looked it up online, it did actually say that it was originally set for like teens, adults, and then they decided to change it to make it for younger ages. I don't know if maybe they were just getting better reception because it's like an animated short or whatever, and the kids are younger.
Superhero themed.
I mean, there's so many superhero things out now. I feel like they could have.
Kids always connect with superheroes.
Squeezed in. True. But the show is about two Parisian teenagers, Marinette Dupont.
Parisian?
Yes. They literally.
They're Persian?
Parisian. They're from Paris.
Oh, that's how you say that word?
How do you say that word?
I didn't even know they had a word. I was just two kids from Paris.
Well, you don't just say like two kids from America. You're American.
I've never heard that word before in my entire
whatever.
I got learned today.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, it takes place in France. The Eiffel Tower is like right across the street from the main girl's
it's a very prominent
house.
Thing in the show. But it's two Parisian teenagers.
The more you know.
Marinette Dupont Chang and Adrienne Agreste, who transform into the superheroes Ladybug and Cat Noir, respectively, to protect the city from supervillains. I personally like the show. I think it's one of the not bad ones that we've watched.
Yeah, it's kind of cute.
Yeah, it's very cute. It's definitely got like, you know, that preteeny type drama.
It doesn't really take itself too seriously.
Yeah, it's got essentially the villains that they're fighting have been, I think they said ecumenized is what they call it.
There's one big bad guy.
Yeah,
he is Hawkmoth. Jared does not like that name.
I don't. I think it sounds really stupid.
It's a type of moth.
Yeah, he informed me that it's an actual moth, and I think I might start a petition to change the name of the moth.
And what he does is for some reason, he takes butterflies.
Yes.
And he evilizes them, which is the word
That's
they use.
That's the word they use.
And then he sends it out, and the butterfly finds its victim.
It has to be somebody though that's like full of emotions and rage.
Negative emotions.
Yeah.
They're sad, they're angry.
Yeah, they have to already have negative emotions.
And then the evil butterfly flies into some sort of object that they have on them at the time, and that turns them into a villain. It gives them like superpowers.
Yeah.
Kind of depending on their personality. And then he's like speaking to them telepathically, like, I gave you these powers, and in return you must
bring me Ladybug and Cat Noir's Miraculous. So the Miraculous are the things that turn them into superheroes, just like the butterflies fly into an object and turn people into super villains. So Ladybug, she has earrings, and Cat Noir has a ring. And they have these. They also, all the people with Miraculous, but not the supervillains, have these little.
They're like familiars, little creatures.
Just little things that fly around and like kind of tell them like, oh,
they're little companions.
Yeah, so that's cute. But yeah, so he makes all the supervillains, and he's trying to get their Miraculous. I don't know if he's just trying to get a bunch of them.
Well, no, because Ladybug has the power to create, because she always.
Yes.
I don't remember her term that she uses, but she says something, and her little weapon thing gives her an item.
It looks kind of like a compact mirror.
She says something. I don't remember the key term that she uses when she creates something. It gives her an item that will be useful in her current predicament.
The villain.
And what happens is she gets an item, and in one episode I remember it was a spoon, and she's just like, "What? Are you serious? A spoon?" And then like part of her superpower is she gets this vision to see what she needs to do, kind of like. So the spoon started flashing a color, and then a pole flashed a color, and then like this other object, and she made a makeshift fishing pole using the spoon as a hook to grab the belt of the bad guy and string him up so he would immobilize him. So that's kind of how her power works.
Yeah, and she's the only one who can take the evil butterflies. So after they have to break the object that's been evilized. And once they break it, the evil butterfly comes out of it, and she's the only one who's able to capture the butterfly and de-evilize everything. So that's also part of her power. And then Cat Noir.
His power is to destroy.
Yes.
So he says...
It's cataclysm.
Which
that's
is,
his thing.
It's corny, but like I like it at the same time. He says cataclysm, and it destroys whatever he scratches.
Yeah.
And... the whole thing is Hawkmoth, the bad guy, said with the power to create and the power to destroy, you basically get an unstoppable power.
Yeah.
And that's what he's after.
Thank you, Colin, for...
I pay attention a little bit.
He pays attention to most of these shows way more than I do, I assure you. Like, they're on in the background, and I'm, like, kind of listening, but Colin's, like, he's, like, tuned in. He's like, oh, I know exactly what's happening.
More than I'd care to admit.
Yeah, so another thing about them is they don't know each other's identities. So they work together, and they, like, have to work together.
They're teenagers in the same class.
Yes.
Because that's common amongst superhero trope things.
Yeah, of course. So they don't know that the other person is also a superhero. And in the beginning, the guy who is Cat Noir, Adrian, is friends with the girl who's really mean to Marinette, who is Ladybug.
Chloe?
Yes, Chloe's the mean girl.
She has the weirdest looking face.
She has such an odd face.
Like
it's like the features are big, but then they're long.
Like she's got this huge forehead. Okay, I'm gonna try and just paint a picture here.
Good luck.
Huge forehead. Okay, then you come down the face, and like where the nose is on a normal human's face, instead of like coming out with a curve into the skull. Okay, and then go down a little bit, and then her nose peeks out. And then, like, the mouth kind of comes out a little bit more. So, like, she's got, like, a concave crevice, like, between the forehead and the mouth.
Yeah,
And it's kind of disturbing, and I don't know what they were thinking when they designed that character.
It's not a good look. Yeah, and because most of the other characters look normal. So, I don't know. Maybe they were like, she's the mean girl. We've got to make her look ridiculous.
Make her ugly.
Yeah. So... I did want to... I'm like, do I want to go to the fun facts? No, we'll talk about... I do have some fun facts, but it's...
Well, okay. Adri was friends with Chloe in the beginning.
Adrian. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah, Adrian was friends with Chloe. And so at first, Marinette was like, why are you being so mean to me? I don't like you. But then she develops a crush on him. And Marinette wants to date Adrian. But Adrian as Cat Noir... wants to date Ladybug.
He's crushing hard on her.
Yes.
Like, he doesn't even try to hide it when they're in their superhero costumes. He's, like, throwing out pickup lines. And
left and right.
Trying to slide into her DMs. And
all day.
This man does not know how to quit.
He is in love with this woman. And... he has no idea that it's Marinette. So in everyday life, he's just like, all right.
And Ladybug has no idea that Cat Noir is the guy she's crushing on.
So she's always like, please stop.
Which is, it's again, another common superhero trope that I hate. You know who these people are, even with their costumes on. Like, Adrian has that very distinct hairstyle that is still very visible with his costume on. Marinette has a very distinct hairstyle,
Yeah,
but it's still
Marinette's
visible.
hair is like blue
And
always in pigtails, and that's also how she wears it when she's Ladybug.
This is the superhero equivalent to Superman taking his glasses off and nobody knowing that he's Clark Kent.
Yeah, kind of.
This is a trope that I think needs
it's not
to go
like they're
away.
pitching their voices or anything like that.
Or
Like
wearing hoods.
they're around each other like all the time at school. You would think they would know, or at least be like kind of suspicious. Like, I think it might be, you know, but no. Also, none of her friends ever seem to realize either, and they're always like, "Where's Marinette?" And it's like in the middle of something crazy happening, and then all of a sudden,
trouble comes around, and one of them or both of them just disappear, and then the superhero shows up, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's the superhero!"
I was gonna say it's kind of like watching the Power Rangers.
Oh yeah,
where it's like, oh no, everybody like get to safety, or there's like somebody there and they're like, oh no, and then they run off and all of a sudden there's Power Rangers there, and it's like, bro, hello.
I seem to want to remember in one of the Power Rangers series where a different character comments on how like they're all cowardly because they always run away when danger shows up. They're the first ones to run.
Yeah.
But then it's because they're running to hide to transform and
into,
save the day.
Yeah.
And they kind of had to awkwardly be like, haha, yeah, I'm
so scared.
such a scaredy cat.
Yeah, so that's kind of how it is for this show also. But I wanted to talk about the fact that we've said that they don't know who each other is. So when Marinette catches the evil butterflies and turns them good again and de-evilizes everything, everything reverts back to how it was, and like the person who was evil forgets that they were evil. So that also plays into the show because apparently there's 2 different instances where they have found out who each other are. There was one, I guess, early on where they found out who each other was, but then when she did the de-evilizing, everybody forgets, and they forgot that they knew each other. But that seems like a big plot hole because they don't generally forget the things that they've already fought.
It's just super convenient.
Yeah.
And you're thinking too hard.
I guess so. And then I guess they found out again in like a Christmas special or something.
There was a time travel episode too. And like, I don't know why shows even bother trying to do time travel episodes. Just the amount of like loopholes and plot holes and
just loose ends, I feel like, that end up with time travel. Like, you have to address that stuff. You can't wrap it up nicely in like one episode.
And then at some point of the episode, you're forced to just be like, poof, everything's normal.
It's all fine. It's cool. I did want to tell you, so apparently this concept was originally pitched as an anime.
I think it was a comic.
It was. No, I no. It was based, the guy who made it was really big into comics, but it might have been a comic after. But it wasn't
one way or another. I could have sworn it has been a comic at some point.
Probably. But yeah, so it was originally supposed to be an anime, but there were concerns about the marketability of traditional 2D animation and the difficulty in animating Ladybug's costume of red with black spots as it caused some strobing effects.
I guess I can kind of see that.
And he said, the guy who produced it said he wanted the animation to be cinematic and epic, unique and different, and said that they are continuing to partner with Toei
Animation.
Oh, Toei, okay. As it brings in the Asian inspiration and... Sorry, what a phrase. The Asian inspiration. And that a 2D version of the show might be a potential product for future purposes.
Toei Animation did a lot of the anime you probably remember growing up watching.
Extremely
Dragon
familiar.
Ball Z, Sailor Moon.
Well, also the thing about this, a lot of different countries, a lot of different animation studios had their hand in the making of this, which surprised me. Like, I was reading it and I was thinking, okay, it's this one, and then the list just like keeps going on and on. So it's produced by French studios Zagtoon and Method Animation in collaboration with D'Agosti Editor SPA in Italy, Toei Animation in Japan, SAMG Animation in South Korea, DQ Entertainment and Assemblage Entertainment in India, and Globosat in Brazil. That's like 9 different production companies.
There's at least 4.
Yeah, that's a lot of production companies to have a hand in one.
Well, that's not necessarily per episode. That might just be total that have touched it.
Probably, but that's still a lot. I feel like most don't have that many hands in the pot.
Maybe some of the companies went under. Maybe some of them turned out after a few episodes were more expensive and they found a cheaper option.
It's possible. Also, so this is a French show, right? Taking place in Paris. It first premiered actually in South Korea before it premiered in France.
Random fact, but totally spies.
Did the same thing?
That was made, well, I don't know, but it was made in Korea.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's
we should do
technically
an episode
Korean.
on that.
I remember watching it.
I love Totally Spies. It's so good. Yeah, but that's not what we're here to talk about. Yeah, and then it went on to, it debuted on Nickelodeon, but then it actually does reruns.
What year did it debut?
December 6, 2015.
I was going to say it's kind of recent, but it's...
no,
it's 2020.
That's 5 years ago.
Ouch.
You old.
Seems
but
like,
then it moved...
Seems like yesterday.
Okay.
When I was just a wee lad.
Okay, Grandpa.
Before the coronavirus wiped out the planet.
Before the great pandemic of 2020.
Before the toilet paper shortage.
Sorry. Okay, but it moved to Netflix and the new episodes premiered on there from 2017. And then reruns air on Disney Channel. It's all over the place. This thing is all over the place. There's so much going on here. But that's okay. I mean, they're still around, so that's good for them.
Random thought. I just noticed this today when we were watching Ladybug.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have any sound effects for like punches or hits that they land.
They don't.
And like I noticed that there was a fight scene, and I'm like, this is just like an eerily quiet fight scene.
Yeah,
like, they have,
it's
like,
very strange.
Whooshes and stuff for like when they're jumping around and there's music in the background. But I was like, where are all the they're nowhere.
They don't exist.
So like you don't feel the impact. It's just them like doing something and the person recoiling, and you're just like, did he punch? Did he sneeze and just like back away?
Yeah, that's
what happened.
That's it. They sneezed. That was it. Oh, also, this was fun. The music in this show was done by Noam Keneal, who had also worked on action superhero shows such as X-Men, Code Lyoko, Witch. I loved Witch. Did you ever see Witch?
I have not.
That show, I used to love it. It was I wouldn't say that it was like the greatest show in the world, but as a young child, I enjoyed it. Fantastic Four, Power Rangers, Digimon Fusion, and Glitter Force. I've never heard of Glitter Force though.
Neither have I.
Yeah, and then different people perform the English lyrics and the French lyrics, but I don't feel like I need to go into that because I don't think anyone's gonna know their names. But that's a thing. So maybe it's because they worked with so many different production companies, but it seems like someone who worked on shows like that, like, you got some ins.
If you got the money.
Yeah, that's true.
Hire someone that's done a lot of good stuff.
That's very, very true. What was I gonna? No.
How many seasons were there?
3?
You tell me. You're the one
3.
with the computer.
There's 3. I'm saying that confidently because I'm reading the plot, and there's only 3 seasons. And it seems like it was kind of open-ended on the 3rd season, so I don't know if there's going to be a 4th season.
When did the last season air? How recent is this? Because it started 5 years ago, so if they haven't produced any more
Yeah, it's
I
probably.
doubt it.
Ooh-wee. That's not what I wanted to do. Season 3. Wow, no, recently. The last episode was the Christmas special on February 8th, 2019.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe you could potentially expect some more.
But you have to remember there was a move to Netflix. So it could have been like they had season 1 and 2. They didn't expect to do season 3. Moved to Netflix, got season 3.
Yeah, so if Netflix has the rights.
Yeah.
I don't know if Netflix bought it.
I have no clue.
Because Netflix does crazy stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, so they're like going. So.
All right.
Yeah, good for them.
When's season 4? Come on.
Bro, I don't know.
Come on. Kick it out.
I don't know.
I need to know if Marinette and Adrian, she calls him Adri sometimes.
Gross.
If they go to prom. I gotta know.
It will consist of 26 episodes and it's set to premiere in the fall of 2020. So you got
they
a
better
long
go to prom
time.
together.
Fingers crossed. How old are they?
They're teenagers.
Like teen? I thought they were like preteens.
There was one episode where Marinette's parents were going on their anniversary dinner and they left her in charge of the cake shop.
Wow.
Yeah. So she's old enough to do that.
Yeah. Oh, also Marinette is Asian. I don't know if she's like
French Asian.
Yeah, I don't know specifically what country in Asia she's from.
Her dad,
so I don't want to get
is
it wrong.
a giant man. He's
very
huge.
large.
A brick house in a good way.
Think of like well, the woman was kind of a little bit bigger. I was like, think of like Kiki's Delivery Service where they have the bakery and the one dude's like really big and silent, but her dad's not necessarily silent, but he's like a big guy.
He's a brick
who runs
house.
a bakery.
Nice mustache.
Yeah, I like it. I did want to go through the villains of the ones that you've seen. Which one's your favorite so far?
Oh, I have 2.
Okay. I've got a list of the villains here if you want.
There's some really silly villains.
Yeah.
That she'll get to them. And then there were some really good ones like one of their friends got turned into Wi-Fi. I don't remember if that was her name, but I think it was her name. It possessed her phone. And she had the ability to like, she would use her phone and like throw
the
signals at people, and she would like pause people in place. And if she hit you with it, you'd be paused. So that was kind of cool. I like that concept. And the way they defeated her was
yeah. I remember, and I see her here.
Cat Noir ended up destroying the cell phone tower on top of Marinette's house because that's where they were fighting at the moment. And she lost her powers because she had no Wi-Fi. And I thought that was kind of cheeky and a good way to beat a villain. And then my favorite, I don't remember his name, but it was the artist. And he, the Akuma possessed his pen.
Oh, yeah. I know.
And he was able to draw on this like makeshift tablet thing on his wrist. And like he could manipulate the physical world. So like there were times where like they were hiding behind cover and he just straight up erased it and was just like, no, you're not hiding today. And like he could draw things and like erase the floor and stuff. That was just
that one's pretty cool.
That was a cool power.
I liked the soup guy because that was just fun.
What was his power?
It's something to do with food. I can't even remember specifically.
I just remember the ice cream guy turned into a giant ice cream snowman.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, he controls people who drink his soup, and he can summon food and weapons from his pouch, such as pizza swords and sushi tortas, which I remember because he had a giant sword, like huge, that was made of pizza. And it looked so fucking silly, but so cool.
Did it look delicious?
Yes, it did, actually. The pepperonis were placed perfectly. It was great. But he he was actually Marinette's uncle, who was trying to become the head chef for a hotel, and her arch nemesis Chloe.
Oh, I didn't see this whole episode, but this like the very beginning, he entered a cooking competition.
Yes, to be the head chef.
Yeah.
And then Chloe ruined it by putting something into his soup. It was like a lavender soup, and the mean girl ruined it, and so he lost, and then he got sad and angry, and then he became a supervillain. Yeah. And then I also like the mime. I thought his was cool.
Yep.
So the mime could essentially mime things, and then
into
they would
existence.
Yeah, and then they would become real things. So like he mimed like a bow and arrow and was able to like use it. A car or something flipped over on top of him, and as long as he was like holding his hands up, he was like fine, because it was like he was holding a box up, and like it was pretty cool. Like the ones that can just like make something out of nothing, I like those. But I can go down the list.
I can tell you some of the lame ones.
Okay.
The baby. Can we talk about
the
baby?
Oh my god, let's talk about the fact that this baby, who I don't know, I think they showed the father later.
They better have.
They did, but he was not colored. I don't know why I just said that.
Well, in the pretense that like the actual skin tone of this baby was like a weird skin tone.
Yeah.
It was like almost a grayish.
No. He was like red. Not.
That's what it was.
He wasn't like, it's like, I don't know if they were trying to make like a brown person, but it didn't work.
It was just a strange color.
He was red, legitimately red. And the mother was this white ginger woman, and then later I think they show his father as a white ginger guy, and I'm like, he could have been adopted, great, but like, why is he red?
Demon baby.
I didn't understand, but you know, because the hawk moth was trying to possess a different person.
Adrian has a bodyguard. He comes from a rich family because
I think he's a model too.
He takes like fencing lessons and stuff, and I think he's a model. And what happened was he was trying to possess the bodyguard, because that would have been a strong villain to fight with, and the bodyguard was getting pissed off that Adrian wasn't like being on time or on schedule or something. He kept like doing all this side stuff, so he was like, God damn it, I gotta go wrangle this kid again. And something happened where he got pissed off at Adrian, and he went to go find him. And Hawkmoth made the evil butterfly, the Akuma, and sent it off. And just before it possessed evil, angry bodyguard guy, he sees Adrian, and for some reason he's not angry anymore. Like within a split second.
But this baby had been asking for a lollipop the whole time,
and he was
just
crying.
Mad.
Lollipop. and so the butterfly like swoops down at the bodyguard, and then he's all of a sudden not angry anymore, and then it's just like whoosh, goes over his head and flies away, and Hawkmoth's like, no, what are you doing? And then the next closest thing that was sad and angry
was the baby.
Was a baby. So the butterfly's like, target acquired.
Yeah, and then Hawkmoth's like, oh, well, you know, whose emotions are more volatile and angry than a baby? Sure, I'll run with it.
Yeah.
And so then, you know, the baby becomes a supervillain, and the baby just gets giant. I mean, huge. Like size of buildings. Yeah. And so there's just this giant angry baby, and he's just looking for a lollipop. So he's constantly just walking around, and everything he's like, lollipop, and putting it in his mouth.
And right when the person transforms into a villain, Hawkmoth has like a second to kind of explain to him what your goal is, and he's just like, you can have as many lollipops as you want, but first you must take Ladybug and Cat Noir's Miraculous. And the baby was just like, lollipop? And he's like, no, miraculous lollipop. And he's like, no.
Yeah, I don't even think the baby actually had any superpowers. It was really big.
But yeah, it was picking up stuff and just putting it in its mouth and trying to find a lollipop, and it probably got so many germs.
Yeah, like that whole town just needs to be sanitized.
It picked up a statue. Statues are outside all the time. It picked up a person and was just like, are you a lollipop? And no.
Yeah.
Did that person take a shower recently? We don't know.
Yeah, so that one sucked. But it was a thing. Okay, so we've got The Bubbler. He is able to use his bubble wand to create impenetrable bubbles
Bubble wand, bubble, bubble.
that he can use to trap people and make them float away.
Bubble wand,
That's kind of lame.
Bubble wand.
He wants to get rid of all adults and give Adrian the best birthday party ever. Oh, that's his friend Nino. And then there's Xavier Romier, aka Mr. Pigeon, able to control and communicate with pigeons using his pigeon whistle. He wants to turn pigeons into the city's first-class citizens and get rid of all the park police.
This is a dumb one.
We've got Aurore Boreal, aka Stormy Weather. Wow, what a name. Can fly and control the weather with her parasol. Wants to prove herself the rightful weather girl of Paris.
It's like a discount Storm from the X-Men.
We've got Alex Kubdel, aka Timebreaker. She can absorb energy from people she touches in order to gain the energy she needs to activate her ability to travel back in time. That's the time one. The people she steals energy from will freeze and slowly disappear. She wants to go back in time to restore a broken family heirloom. Lame objective, but okay. Theo Barbot, aka Copycat, has the exact appearance and abilities of Cat Noir. He can also imitate Cat Noir's voice. He wants to ruin Cat Noir's reputation and become Ladybug's boyfriend. Some of these, like their goals are just so dumb.
Yeah.
Jalil Kubdel, the Pharaoh, uses the power of various Egyptian gods. He switches between powers by transforming his mask.
That one was cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Wants to perform an ancient ritual to revive Queen Nefertiti. Ali, aka Lady Wi-Fi. I'm sorry, Alia. Her name's not Ali.
She's got the weird mole above her eyebrow.
Yeah. Uses her cell phone to shoot various icons that can pause people, project images, and lock things in place. She can also teleport through cell phones. She can't use her power if there's no Wi-Fi signal, which I think is the funniest foil to have. You can only use your powers on Wi-Fi, 4G.
I'm a super strong villain, but only in my network.
Yeah. These aren't 4G powers, honey. Her only objective is she wants to unmask Ladybug, and that is because Alia is Marinette's best friend, but she has a blog. She was actually the first person to see Ladybug because she's her best friend, and she happened to be with her. So she has a blog where she talks about Ladybug and all of that stuff, as superhero fanatics do.
She's constantly taking photos and videos on her phone of whatever incidents are going on around because she's determined to be wherever trouble is because that's where Ladybug will show up, and then she can find out who Ladybug is.
Exactly. We've got
Keep going.
Nathaniel Kurtzberg, aka the Evil Illustrator.
Yeah, this is the one that draws and erases.
Yep, anything he draws on his tablet with his stylus pen will materialize in the real world, and he can erase existing items by erasing images of them from his tablet. He needs light to draw, so in darkness he is unable to use his power. Wants to date Marinette and get revenge on Chloe for criticizing his drawings. Why does everyone want to date her in and out of the suit?
She's hot.
Sure.
Okay, maybe not, but...
She's average.
Wow, Jera. Women should hold other women up, not tear them down.
She's not real. So...
Wow.
Okay. Roger Rain Compris, aka Roger Cop.
This one was kind of silly. It made me think of RoboCop.
That's the point.
Yeah.
Can shoot lasers that turn into handcuffs that once on a person's wrist will make that person follow his orders against their will. He also has a flying police car, which is kind of cool. He wants to enforce all laws, no matter how small. Le Chien Kim, aka Dark Cupid, has wings that allow him to fly, and he shoots arrows that turn any form of love or friendship into hate. Wants to ruin everyone's Valentine's Day. Same. Mylene Hapril, aka Horrificator.
That's a great name.
I don't remember this one. This is another one of her friends, the one with the funky hair. The blonde girl.
Oh, her.
It's another one of Marinette's
I think
friends.
I'm going to make that into a band.
Horrificator?
That sounds brutal.
It does, actually.
Anybody want to be in a black metal band?
Shoots sticky goo from her mouth. Ugh. And grows larger by absorbing the fear of other people. That is pretty metal.
Dude. Come on.
That's pretty great.
I need to be in this band yesterday.
However, anyone who is not afraid of her will make her shrink. Aww. Wants everyone else to understand how scared she feels. Armand Dargincourt, aka Darkblade, can shoot a beam that makes a person kneel before him and can turn people whom he knights into his loyal armored soldiers. He can also turn cars into catapults, which seems like a really random, I get it, but like random one to have with the other powers. You know, when I say it, it just seems kind of out of place.
He was a fencer, I believe.
Yeah.
And it was actually kind of neat because like he ended up with an army at one point.
You can see the picture.
But like the one thing that threw me, he knighted like 2 or 3 people right away at the beginning and made them his soldiers, and they turned into cool little soldier guys. And then he walked up to this like huge person that was just like beefy, and he started to knight that guy, and I'm like, oh my god, he's gonna have a super knight.
No,
and he knights him, like a regular and he soldier. Turned into a tiny skinny soldier guy, and I'm like, what?
Kind of sucks because it's like, dude should be a huge soldier.
I wanted the beefy knight.
Yeah. Wanted the mountain.
I wanted Mick Beef Knight.
Shut up. But his goal was he wants to become the monarch of Paris. Fred Hapril, aka the Mime. Any object he mimes can be manifested as a solid but invisible construct. However, he can only mime one object at a time. He wants revenge on Chris for stealing his parts in a performance. Chris was just some random guy he was also in a mime company with who stole his performance, and that's why he was angry.
And according to the people in the mime company, he did not steal it. The other guy simply was just a better mime.
Yeah. That sucks even more.
Get wrecked.
Jean Dupart, aka Magician of Misfortune. He can make anything disappear with a puff of smoke. Wants everyone to recognize him as the greatest magician in Paris. Rose Lavillante, aka Princess Fragrance. This is another one of Marinette's friends. I hate her voice. Do you know which one I'm talking about? She's a little blonde girl, wears the pink shirt all the time.
Oh,
and she
yeah,
talks
her.
like, oh my god, Marinette, I don't know why these things are happening. And it's just, don't.
The really high-pitched voice.
Don't do that. But she uses a perfume gun, which can fire different scents with different effects. Primarily a pink mind control perfume. Can also cause the perfume gun to propel herself through the air. Wants to marry Prince Ali, whom she's fallen in love with.
So just walking through JCPenney's, basically.
Kind of. I remember this episode because Chloe, again, was being a bitch. And
as always.
And this prince came and he was staying at the hotel, and Rose was like, oh my god, he's like the nicest guy I've ever heard of in my life, and I want to go on a date with him. But Chloe was like, fuck you, bitch, hands off my man. And then she's trying to like impress him, and he's like, that don't impress me much. And
wow.
And Rose does end up getting a date with him anyway, so fuck you, Chloe. Ivan Brule. Oh, I kind of liked this guy. He didn't really have like any crazy strengths, but he was aka Stoneheart, has enormous strength, and he grows larger and stronger every time he takes a hit. Later gains control over an army of other Stonehearts. Wants to date Mylene and get rid of anyone who mocks his crush. Otis Cesar, aka Animan. I don't remember this one. Able to transform into any animal or insect that he desires, including extinct species.
So he was an animorph.
Essentially. Transforming in rapid succession tires him out. Wants to get rid of people who mock his animal friends. So he's like a hardcore animal activist, that's it. Simon Grimault, aka Simon Says. You can figure that out. Uses his deck of cards to hypnotize people and commands them to do what he wants. Vincent Aza, aka Pixelator. By taking a picture of someone, he's able to trap them in an infinite white plane inside photo frames located in his home apartment. That's horrifying. An indirect shot will pixelate part of the victim's body, making them intangible. How many
That sounds like a horror movie.
It does. There's not that many more. We'll go through them quick. Excuse me.
Corona.
Okay. Jagged Stone, aka Guitar Villain. I couldn't have thought of a better name for her.
Like Bone Crusher.
I'm sorry, him. He's got long hair. Why does it look like he has boobs? Whatever. Shoots sound waves from his guitar. He could be non-binary. I don't know. I'm going to stop talking now. Shoots sound waves from his guitar that can release sonic attacks and force people to dance. He has a pet dragon at his side that can fly and has green fire breath. And all he wants is to be recognized as the greatest musician in the city. I mean, isn't that what all musicians want?
Yeah.
Right? Wang Ching, aka Kung Food. I also loved his name.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Kung Food. He's the one who controls people who drink the soup. We went over that one. And then Max Conte, aka Gamer, pilots a giant robot from a video game that can shoot a beam that turns people and objects into green energy orbs that he absorbs and uses to upgrade the robot. He can also save his last level and make the robot respawn if it's destroyed. That's kind of cool.
Rise up, gamers.
Julika Kofane, aka Reflecta. I remember this. I hate her name, Julika. I've never heard anyone named that.
That sounds like someone's trying way too hard.
Yeah, like they were like, it's got to be a really original name, Julika. She's able to shoot a beam that turns people into identical physical copies of herself, which was kind of fun because she did turn Cat Noir into herself, and then obviously he didn't have his powers anymore, so that was kind of interesting. And then Manon Shamak, aka the Puppeteer, can control puppets and by extension the people they look like. If in possession of a puppet depicting an ecumenized villain, then she can transform that person back into their previous ecumenized form. That's a lot. Sabrina Rain Compris, aka Vanisher. She's the invisible woman, essentially. She's just completely invisible. Chloe, the bitch we've been talking about this whole time, she's the anti-bug. So she has all the same powers as Ladybug Miraculous Owner, but as the complete opposite, such as having the power to create an anti-charm instead of Ladybug's lucky charm.
That's what the word she says.
Yeah, it was lucky charm. She wants revenge on Ladybug for betraying her fan worship. Lila Rossi, aka Volpina, okay, has all the same powers as a Fox Miraculous Owner, but she can create more than one illusion and won't transform back. I just thought it was kind of funny because she is like a little fox lady, and it made me think of Vulpix because her name's Volpina. So that's cute. Cute little nod there. There's also a Santa Claus. I'm not going to get into these other villains. There's a few more, but we don't need to go into that. But I do like the one. It's Santa Claus. He distributes exploding Christmas presents that release horrible things, including bats, spiders, cockroaches, and even weapons for him to use.
What's wrong with bats?
He rides a flying sleigh that can phase through walls.
We got Bert the Bat over there. He's been hanging out for 2 Halloweens straight.
Yeah, Bartholomew's, he's a staple in our home. If you come in, he's hanging right by the big window when you walk in the door.
Yeah, when you walk in the front door, just look up and to your right a little bit, and there is Bridget the Bat.
Yep.
Just say, hey, what's up?
Yeah, Bobby is we love him. He's great. So, enough about Bridget. So those are all the villains, but I mean overall, it's got its things, but it's a pretty good show.
There's a few. Granted, this isn't really anything to nitpick about. There's very few instances where I've seen like I don't know if it's just a shortcut in the animation where like specifically again one of the episodes we were watching today where Cat Noir was walking, but the strides he was taking and how far he was traveling were not matching up. Like he was kind of like sliding across the ground because he was his character model was moving much slower than his steps indicated he should have been moving.
Yeah.
And like I noticed that stuff, and it's hard for me not to. I don't know why I go this nitpicky into detail.
Yeah, granted. There's another show that we will definitely do an episode on called Fancy Nancy, and whoo, the animation for that is...
It's hard to ignore.
Like, I don't normally get too upset about the animation in shows unless it's, like, really bad, and Fancy Nancy's one of those ones that you cannot ignore how awkward everyone's moving. So, that's fun. I didn't really notice what you were saying. Like
I said, it's very rare in this, but like there's a few of them like you got to keep an eye out for it, and you might see a weird thing kind of sort of here or there.
Kind of being strange.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, do you have any final thoughts? Questions?
Talk to me about Cat Noir's tail.
So their suits are like skin tight suits, right? So Ladybug's got this skin tight red suit that's got black dots on it and a red and black mask. Cat Noir, his suit is a skin tight black suit, and he's got these like claw gloves, and he's got little ears, and they've got, of course, got transformation scenes, as you must.
Just think Sailor Moon.
Exactly. And he has a tail that comes out during the transformation scene from his suit. It's a belt, but the way the scene is done, it's just so strange to me. The way it like I don't think they needed to add it. But he has tail.
No, it was a nice detail. I liked it.
It's there.
It's a cat. Cats have tails.
Yeah.
See Pib and Tab over on the couch right here.
I don't love it. It's awkward to me.
I like Ladybug's weapon of choice. Her weapon is like a yo-yo.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's kind of cool because then she uses it to basically Spider-Man her way around the city.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. You get to see her swinging around. And
yeah, it's fun.
Cat Noir has an extendo pole, like Goku from the original Dragon Ball series. That's kind of neat.
Yeah.
Does Cat Noir's power does run out on his little ring. There's a cat paw.
Yeah.
And for each little cat pad, is like a energy that he has left.
Yeah. So when he uses,
depletes.
it's mainly using the cataclysm. So like they have to use it kind of like at the right moment, because if he uses it too much, he won't be able to use it again, and they won't be able to destroy whatever it is they're trying to destroy. Yeah.
Does that happen with Ladybug?
Not that I can think of.
I don't think she.
I think she can pretty much just
be a superhero.
Yeah, she's definitely the superior superhero of the pair.
Really? You're gonna go that far?
Yeah,
I was gonna ask you which superpower you'd rather have, but I guess we found out that answer.
I mean, he can't, like in the first episode they even say he can't fight without her because he can't change the butterflies back. He can't de-evilize anything. He pretty much like needs her to actually do the job. She is the important one. Without her, it would be moot.
Well, I like Cat Noir.
I mean, I like him. He's not front and center, you know. He's the technically it should be the other way around, but I was like, he's the Superman to her Batman. But Batman is the leader, so he's the second. He's the right-hand man.
No.
Yeah.
You should have said like Robin to Batman.
Well, I was thinking like bigger picture. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Are you going by Justice League standards here? Because no.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Do you even watch comic book stuff?
Did you own a comic book before you met me?
Did you go to see Batman vs. Superman without me?
I did.
Wow. Guys, she went to see Batman vs. Superman without... Can you believe that?
I turned this man on to the comics. I turned this man on to the great Batman animated films that have come out in recent years.
I saw most of them.
He's a fucking liar.
I was watching X-Men
I guess
cartoon
it's technically
before you were even born.
Lies. You're only 5 years older than me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, it's possible, but I don't think so. When did, because the X-Men comics came out, or like the cartoon?
The comics?
No, the cartoon.
I'm talking about the 90s cartoon.
Yeah, the cartoon came out in what?
The 90s.
All right, I'm not gonna Google it, so that's fine. Anywho, we've gotten very off subject here.
Yeah, Cat Noir, he's the better of the two superheroes. We don't really need to keep discussing it. Do you have any other words you'd like to say?
No, I think I'm good, other than Ladybug's obviously the
second
top-notch
of the two,
superhero
right.
in the show.
She had to be knocked down a notch.
She,
so Cat Noir
literally,
is the best.
the show and the world wouldn't exist without her. So
he's a great superhero.
No, I think that's all. We can end it here. Yeah. As always, don't forget to if you haven't already, like our Facebook page. But also, obviously, if you're listening to this,
we're on YouTube now.
We're on YouTube, so please subscribe and like and comment and all that stuff that you can do over there. And if there's anything in particular you want to hear us talk about, leave a comment. Send a message.
DM, slide into those DMs, ladies and gents.
Slide on into those DMs.
Share it around. We have a few listeners that don't have kids and they still listen.
Yeah, we appreciate you.
Just to kind of, I guess, prepare themselves.
Or
for
just
children,
hear us
or just
shit
be
on
like,
kid
wow,
shows.
I'm so glad I don't have to watch those
right?
shows.
That's what it probably is.
This episode is brought to you by Max and Howard Drink Beer. They don't know that yet, but you're sponsoring us now. And what does that mean? I don't know. You guys can figure that out.
We were here first. Shouldn't we be sponsoring them?
We are demanding that you sponsor us, and it's already happened because it's in the podcast. So
yeah,
you guys need to figure out how sponsoring us is going to work.
So thank you so much to you guys for the sponsorship.
We love
Howard and Max Drink Beer.
Thing that you're doing for us.
Yeah, just make sure you guys go listen to that too.
Yeah, it's a great podcast. We're all adults here, and they talk about beer and beer-related things.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you like beer and beer-related things, hop on over to Max and Howard Drink Beer.
Yeah. All right. I think that's the end of our episode. Ladybug's the best.
Cat Noir.